Oh, here we were just talking about this issue with water. Here we have a gal, she's built up some water retention around here, and this is causing widening hips. And see, what happens is that if this occurs and if the spleen gets damp, the spleen meridian is, as I said, it's where the iron is inserted into the, iron ions are inserted into the blood cell. Now, so if this whole area gets damp, the body doesn't have the heat to break that ferric iron down from green vegetables and get that iron into our blood to vitalize our blood. So our blood may be going into the body without enough iron in it. And then if that does, the blood can't hold enough hemoglobin and the blood doesn't have enough chi. If the blood doesn't have enough chi, the body can't stay warm. The chi can't go, so you're going to have cold hands and feet. Trickling down of the blood is not warm enough. Excess blood building up in the uterine cavity. Painful, long, and excessive menstruation. This area also then, microbes like yeasts and things. It's a nice warm environment for candida. This gal isn't breathing deep enough, so she's not getting the oxygen molecules into her blood either. Her thyroid is undernourished because if the spleen meridian is not rendering the iron out, and then apoferritin and other carrier proteins are taking the iodine, that is, I'm sorry, iodine rendered out of the food here, and we don't eat enough seaweed and other things in our diet, do we? But then rendering the iodine out of food and getting it to the thyroid. So the thyroid is, I consider to be a secondary gland in the hierarchy of metabolism. The thyroid gland is considered more like a hormone is considered more like the match striker, like the pilot light of the stove. But the spleen is the stove itself. So what we have to do is we have to warm this whole thing up. That's what these herbs do. Dong Guai, build blood, new blood, a very important herb for building blood. Dong Guai has been traditionally used in China by women to maintain higher blood levels. There still aren't any really definitive studies on how this works, but it's been used for a long time. So you put Dong Guai into this formula to help build some blood. Ligusticum is also a blood vitalizing herb for the heart too, so now you bring some nourishment to the heart in the blood. Longan nourishes the heart and the blood. This is a tasty little berry. I have all these herbs over at my table, by the way. Dioscorea, an important herb to help women have more progesterone. So it has precursors to progesterone called diosgenins. And progesterone is an important herb in metabolism in some regards because it helps keep the body warm. And it's, of course, important to trigger and maintain the luteal phase of the moon cycle after ovulation. Very important. Also, Dioscorea can help regulate estrogen in the body. We know we have a lot of xenoestrogenic activity. You found a lot in plastics, petrochemicals. Progesterone is a master hormone that regulates estrogen in your body. So then your body can regulate its own estrogen needs and block the xenoestrogens because which are fat-soluble molecules, and they'll wind up in the mammary glands if they're not blocked. We don't want that.